Manchester City just pulled off something that felt impossible only hours earlier at Anfield in front of one of the most hostile crowds in world football. They came from behind in the dying minutes to beat Liverpool 2-1. This was not just any win, this was survival, because if City had lost this match, the title race would have been over. Arsenal would have been 9 points clear with 13 games to play. The gap would have been insurmountable. Let me be clear about what was on the line here. Arsenal had already done their job on Saturday. They dismantled Sunderland at the Emirates Stadium and pushed their lead to 9 points. Manchester City was staring down the barrel. They had to go to Anfield, a place where Pep Guardiola had only ever won once in the league with a crowd present, and they had to win. Anything less meant the title was gone. Bernardo Silva understood this completely. He told Sky Sports after the match that the whole team knew before kickoff that if they lost, the title race was probably over. They felt they needed to win. This was a match where the pressure was suffocating. Liverpool took the lead in the 74th minute through Dominik Szoboszlai. He beat Gianluigi Donnarumma from range with a spectacular free kick. At that moment, Arsenal were about to go 9 points clear. The dream of retaining the title was slipping away from City. But then Bernardo Silva stepped up. He equalised for the visitors in the 84th minute from an Erling Haaland assist. The hope was alive again, but 1 point was not enough. City needed all three. They kept pushing. Deep into stoppage time, Matheus Nunes was brought down by Alisson inside the box. Penalty, Erling Haaland stepped up and converted 2-1. Manchester City had won at Anfield. If you want deeper analysis on stories like this, on the tactical decisions, the psychological pressure and what it all means for the title race, hit that subscribe button now. This is where we break down the real story behind the headlines. The gap is now 6 points. Arsenal are still clear at the top of the table, but the breathing space they had for a few hours on Saturday is gone. Guardiola has done exactly what he said he would do. He has kept City within touching distance. He has kept the pressure on Mikel Arteta. And now with 13 games left to play, this title race is alive. Let me take you through what actually happened and why this result changes everything. Arsenal went into this weekend knowing they could put real distance between themselves and City. They beat Sunderland comfortably and pushed the gap to 9 points. That was a significant psychological advantage. 9 points with 13 games to play is a massive cushion. It allows you to manage games differently. It allows you to rotate players. It takes the pressure off. But City refused to let that happen. Guardiola spoke to reporters after the match and he was clear about what this win meant. He said Anfield is Anfield. The tradition, the history, the crowd. He said the pitch always looks smaller and tighter there. It does not look like the Etihad Stadium. He acknowledged that if they had lost, the questions would have come over and over about the title race being finished. But 6 points is better than 9. He was realistic, though. He admitted that 6 points is still a lot, considering how strong Arsenal are in all departments. This is where Guardiola's experience becomes crucial. He has been in title races before. He knows how they unfold. He told reporters that, from his experience, the last 10 games are so difficult. The important thing is to try to be there and improve, because the second half against Liverpool was not good enough again. He is not pretending City are playing perfect football. They are not. But they are grinding out results when it matters most. Guardiola outlined his plan very clearly. He said all they can do is breathe down the neck of Arsenal and be there, trying to use it if Arsenal slip up. This is classic Guardiola psychology. He is putting the pressure back on Arsenal. He is making them aware that City are right behind them, waiting for any mistake. He knows that pressure can cause mistakes. But Guardiola also acknowledged the challenge ahead. He said he has a feeling that improving a little bit will not be enough to compete against Arsenal, but they still have a margin to improve. He pointed out that City still have to play Arsenal at home. That match becomes absolutely crucial now. If City win that game, the gap closes to 3 points. If Arsenal win, they go 9 points clear again. That one match could decide the entire title race. Guardiola made an interesting point about the fixture congestion. He said 13 games in the Premier League is a lot of time. When you go into the last games playing any team in a relegation battle, it is a proper football game. Those teams are fighting for survival and they have long weeks to prepare. Meanwhile, the top teams are coming from the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League. That makes an influence in the title race. This is why being 9, 10 or 11 points clear makes such a difference. The team in front can manage their squad better, they can rotate, they can keep players fresh. City cannot afford to do that now. They have to keep winning. Bernardo Silva was immense in this match. Guardiola showered him with praise in an interview with club media. He called Silva an incredible player, one of the best ever to play or train. He called him their captain. Guardiola said they follow Silva and that he follows him too. Silva puts the team in front of himself. He does things through his own example. Everybody follows him. Silva scored the first goal from the Erling Haaland assist and then made the assist for Matheus Nunes for the penalty. Guardiola said they finally won at Anfield, and it is always so difficult. He was happy with the result because the team was there. Silva himself spoke about the match with real emotion. He said when he scored, he was happy, but they needed another goal, and Erling got it. He was very happy, but he made it clear that these points count as much as any in any other game. But this was not about just beating Liverpool. This was about staying in the title race. Silva admitted it has been frustrating at the beginning of the year because they have not done their job properly. They could be closer to Arsenal. That is a telling comment. Silva knows City have dropped points they should not have dropped. But now they are in a position where they have to be perfect for the rest of the season. Silva then sent a warning directly to Arsenal. He said the hope is there and they are going to fight until the end. They need to keep doing their job that they have not done lately. For the distance that they have to Arsenal, coming to Anfield, the toughest place in the Premier League by far, they needed to go for another goal. And they did. That mentality, that refusal to settle for a draw when a draw was not good enough is what makes City so dangerous. They have been here before. They know how to chase down teams in title races. Now, let me explain what this result means for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta will have watched that match, knowing his team had a 9-point lead for a few hours. Now it is back to 6. That is a psychological blow. Arsenal are still in control. They are still the team to beat. But the margin for error has shrunk again. Arteta now knows that if Arsenal slip up even once, City will be right there to capitalise. Arsenal have a match against Brentford on Thursday night at the G-Tech Community Stadium. That becomes a must-win game now. If Arsenal drop points and City keep winning, the gap closes even further. The pressure is back on Arsenal. Guardiola has made sure of that. Guardiola also spoke to Sky Sports and insisted there will be twists and turns in the title race. He said, despite what happened, City have many good things to fight for. They are in the final of the Carabao Cup. They are still in the FA Cup. They are in the last 16 of the Champions League. It is exciting. They are 6 points behind Arsenal. He acknowledged it is a big gap because Arsenal do not concede goals and they win all their games. But many things are going to happen, he guessed. This is classic mind games from Guardiola. He is trying to plant doubt in Arsenal's minds. He is reminding them that over 13 games, anything can happen. Injuries can occur, form can dip, referees can make mistakes, fixtures can pile up. Guardiola is trying to make Arsenal feel the weight of expectation. He is trying to make them think about what could go wrong rather than what could go right. But let me be balanced here. Arsenal are still in an excellent position. They have a 6-point lead. They are playing well. They are solid defensively. They are clinical in attack. If they keep doing what they have been doing, they will win the title. The pressure is on them, yes, but they have earned that pressure by being the best team in the league this season. However, the psychological impact of this City win at Liverpool cannot be underestimated. City were written off by many people. The feeling was that if they lost at Anfield, the title race was over. But they went there and won. They showed mental strength. They showed character. They showed that they are not going away quiet. That sends a message to Arsenal. It tells them that City is still dangerous. It tells them that City will fight for every point until the very end. Guardiola made another crucial point about the fixture list. He said Liverpool had all week to prepare for that game. City played 3 days earlier against Newcastle. Newcastle had played on Wednesday and travelled, arriving at 2 in the morning, then played Brentford on Saturday. They had all week to prepare that game. Guardiola is highlighting the advantage that teams fighting for survival have. They can focus solely on the league. City cannot. They have cup competitions. They have European football. The schedule is relentless. This is where the 6-point gap becomes so important. If Arsenal can maintain it, they can afford to rotate their squad in cup competitions. They can prioritise the league. City cannot afford to do that. They have to compete on all fronts. That will test their squad depth. That will test their physical and mental resilience. But here is the reality. Manchester City have been in this position before. They have chased down title races. They have won on the final day of the season. They have the experience. They have the mentality. They have Pep Guardiola, and now they have momentum. This win at Liverpool gives them belief. It gives them confidence. It reminds them that they can win anywhere against anyone when it matters most. Bernardo Silva's comments after the match were particularly revealing. He said the whole team knew before the game that if they lost, the title race was probably over. That level of awareness, that understanding of the stakes is what separates elite teams from good teams. City went into that match knowing it was do or die, and they delivered. Silva also admitted that the beginning of the year has been frustrating because they have not done their job properly. This is an honest assessment. City have dropped points they should not have dropped. They have drawn matches they should have won. They have let Arsenal build a lead, but now they are in a position where they have to be perfect. And that is when City are at their most dangerous. The key moment in this title race will be the match between Arsenal and Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. Guardiola pointed out that they still have to play Arsenal at home and they have to beat them. If City win that match, the gap closes to 3 points. That changes everything. Suddenly, Arsenal are looking over their shoulders. Suddenly, the pressure shifts entirely onto them. But if Arsenal win at the Etihad, they go 9 points clear again with potentially fewer than 10 games to play. At that point, it would take a collapse of historic proportions for them to lose the title. So that match is everything. It is the pivotal moment of the season. Guardiola also made a fascinating point about the nature of the run. He said, when you go into the last games playing any team in a relegation battle, it is a proper football game. Those teams live to survive. They have long weeks to prepare. The top teams come from the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League. That makes an influence. This is absolutely true. Teams at the bottom of the table have nothing to lose. They will fight with everything they have. They will set up defensively. They will make it difficult. And if the team chasing the title is tired, if they have played 3 games in a week, if they have injuries, those matches become incredibly hard to win. Arsenal will face the same challenges. They are still in cup competitions. They are managing a title race. The pressure will build on them as the season goes on. Every match becomes bigger. Every drop point becomes more painful. This is where mental strength matters. This is where experience matters. And this is where Guardiola is trying to gain an advantage. By keeping City within 6 points, Guardiola has ensured that Arsenal cannot relax. Every time Arsenal take the pitch, they know City are right behind them. Every time they read the team sheet, they know City are waiting for them to make a mistake. That psychological pressure is real. It affects players. It affects decision-making. It affects performance. But Arsenal have shown mental strength this season. They have been consistent, they have been professional, they have handled the pressure well. Mikel Arteta has built a team that knows how to win. They have experience from previous title races. They have learnt from their mistakes. They are better equipped now than they were in the past. However, Manchester City have Pep Guardiola, and Guardiola knows how to win title races. He has done it multiple times. He knows when to apply pressure. He knows when to rotate his squad. He knows when to go for the kill. And he's made it clear that his plan is to breathe down the neck of Arsenal and wait for them to slip up. The reality is this: Arsenal are still favourites to win the title. They have a 6-point lead. They are playing excellent football. They have the quality, they have the depth, but Manchester City have not given up. They have kept themselves in the race. And with 13 games to play, anything can happen. This win at Liverpool was absolutely crucial for Manchester City. If they had lost, the title race would have been over. Arsenal would have been 9 points clear. The psychological blow would have been too much to recover from. But City won. They showed character. They showed mental strength. They showed that they are not going to hand the title to Arsenal without a fight. Bernardo Silva's warning to Arsenal was clear. City are going to fight until the end. They are not giving up. They believe they can still win this title. And with Pep Guardiola in charge, with the experience they have, with the quality in their squad, they have every right to believe that. The pressure is now on Arsenal. They have to respond to this City win. They have to go to Brentford on Thursday night and get the 3 points. They have to maintain their 6-point lead. They have to show that they are not affected by what City did at Liverpool. This is where champions are made. This is where title races are won and lost. Guardiola has set the tone. He has made it clear that City will not give up. He has made it clear that they will keep fighting. He has made it clear that they will breathe down Arsenal's neck and wait for any opportunity to capitalise. The next few weeks will be absolutely crucial. Every match matters. Every point matters. Every decision matters. Arsenal have the advantage, but Manchester City have the momentum. And in a title race, momentum can be everything. This is going to go down to the wire. This is going to be one of the most exciting title races in Premier League history. And it all comes down to who can handle the pressure better, who can stay focused, who can avoid mistakes, who can keep winning when it matters most. Manchester City have shown they are not going away. They have shown they will fight until the very end. Arsenal have been warned.